Hi, my name is Gabriela Galvan, and this is my presentation over gender equity in women's sports. So, sport is one of the most powerful platforms for promoting gender equality and empowering women and girls. So, we will be talking about what is gender equity. So, my definition of gender equity is pretty much it refers to the fairness in treatment for women and men according to their respective needs. This may include considered equal treatment or treatment that is different, but which is considered equivalent in terms of rights, benefits, obligations, and opportunities. So just to give you some examples of this in workplace settings, not just technically in sports. So usually you see this to give you the example in sports, that male and female athletes holding the same position receive a significant difference in pay, even when other factors such as experience, education, etc. are similar. Women are discouraged from entering careers in athletics because of low salaries. 75% of women college athletes in an NCAA survey said that they are interested in a career that offered a higher average salary than did coaching or administration in athletics. Coaches of women's teams are still paid less than coaches of men's teams. Even in female-dominated sports like gymnastics, the men's coaches are paid more on average. Another one is qualified women refuse to be placed in male-dominant positions. Right now, we do see a women-female coach. Her name is Jen Walter, and she's right now coaching for the NFL team, the Arizona Cardinals, which just started this year, 2020. It's a really big deal for a woman to be having that position to do that in a men-dominated sport. And also, they do not receive the same amount of sponsorship or attention. We see this a lot with a lot of the smaller softball teams and women. They usually have to have two jobs in order to survive and even keep that, even if they're a professional athlete, they cannot play softball year-round because they do not have the same amount of attention or sponsorship as the MLB, all these other male-dominated sports. So some of the laws that they have with these female sports, in women in sports, women and girls have long been excluded from many sports. In the 1970s, Congress passed Title IX of the 1972 Education Amendments to ban sex discrimination in publicly funded educational programs. After a round of litigation followed by legislative amendments, a presidential veto, and a congressional override of the veto, Title IX was modified to give women and girls equal access to sports programs in schools to receive any measure of federal funding. Under Title IX, schools must provide athletic opportunities to females that are proportionate to those provided to males. Another one is Title IX was passed in 1972. Since that time, the number of female athletes in intercollegiate sports are increased from 30,000 to about 150,000 in 2003. However, the law has not been universally applauded. Several schools have cut minor men's programs such as wrestling, swimming, and track in order to comport with the ratios required under Title IX. Although advocates of Title IX dispute that the law is the sole reason for these programs being cut, coaches and other supporters of the minor men's programs have protested that Title IX is unfair to male athletes involved in these sports. In 2003, the Commission of Opportunity in Athletics, which was assembled by Secretary of Education Rod Page, submitted a report to Page suggesting that Title IX needed a reform. The report suggested that the reform was necessary to save some of men's sports in order to preserve men's opportunities to participate in athletics. The report was met with vocal opposition. Two women in the commission filed a minority report with Page, and the president of the NCAA voiced his disapproval of the suggestions in the commission's report. And right here, we do have a picture of Mr. Rod Page. So just to kind of show some of the amazing women that have redefined sports and that have gotten us where we are today, where women are more seen in sports, it's a more normal thing. Here are a few women that have literally created history throughout the whole world to help women be in athletics. So first, we will be talking about Billie Jean King. She is the former world #1 professional tennis player. Billie Jean King is regarded as one of the greatest women's tennis players of all time. She won 39 Grand Slam titles, including 12 in singles, 16 in women's doubles, and 11 in mixed doubles. King is an advocate for gender equality and social justice. She campaigned for equal pay when the Open era began in 1968. She became the first female athlete to earn over $100,000 in prize money in 1971, but inequalities continue. Today, King is still a primary advocate for women in the LGBTQ equality and was outed in 1981. She is also known, I feel like she was a very big women who really help with today's society of how women view women in sports, or people view women in sports. Next person we're going to be talking about is Ronda Rousey. She is a professional wrestler and a former mixed martial artist. She is considered to be one of the greatest female athletes ever, as the only woman to win both of UFC and WWE championship. She's also one of the only women to headline a pay-per-view event. At the 2008 Olympics, Rousey won a bronze medal in judo, became the first American woman ever to do so. She took part of the first UFC women's fight, successfully defending her title against Lisa Carmouche. Next women that we're going to be talking about is Simone Biles. She is an American gymnast. Simone won the individual all-around, vault, and floor gold medals at the 2006 Rio Olympics. At only 22 years old, Biles is a 4-time world all-around champion with 3 consecutive victories from 2013 to 2015 and another one in 2018. She is also a 5-time U.S. national all-around champion. Biles is the most decorated American gymnast with 25 Olympic and World Championship medals, and set the U.S. record for the most gold medals in women's gymnastics at a single Olympics with 4. Dominant on nearly every event, Biles is considered to be one of the greatest gymnasts of all time. Next, women that we're going to be talking about is Megan Rapinoe. She is a captain of the U.S. WNT alongside with Alex Morgan and Carly Lloyd. She helped the U.S. to its 2nd consecutive FIFA Women's World Cup Championship in 2019, scoring 6 goals for the Golden Boot and Golden Ball awards. She was also on the 2015 team that won the cup, as well as the 2012 Olympic team, which took home gold. Rapinoe has made noise both on and off the field. She is an advocate for numerous LGBTQ organizations and often uses her platform to speak out against social injustice. She is also an advocate for women in sports and equality, and I think that's a really good trait that she has, and that definitely is helping women today in sports. Now, someone that really I feel like made such a great impact with women is Kathrine Switzer. Experts claimed for years that distance running was damaging to women's health and femininity. In 1967, women weren't allowed to officially enter the Boston Marathon, so Kathrine entered that year as KV Switzer to hide her gender. 2 miles in, an official tried to eject her from the course, and a moment captured in dramatic photographs. She finished anyway, becoming the first woman to complete the race as an official entrant. Women are officially allowed to enter the race in 1972. Women's marathoning joined the Olympics in 1984. And I feel like it's not even been 50 years to where women are able to do these male-dominated sports. And I feel like there's still a lot of work that has to be done. So then the next question is, what can be done about this issue? First, we can support women's and girls' sports. By doing this, we can support women's athletics at any age, participate in sports ourselves, attend women's and girls' sporting events, earmark university contributions for women's athletic programs. Do not be taken in by stereotypes that negate women's athletic abilities and deride women who perform well in sports. Coach, athlete, fan, and fundraisers are all roles that can build confidence and initiative and promote women's leadership. Another thing would be challenge the myths. Stereotypes on challenge or stereotypes accepted. Familiarize ourselves with the myths and point out the discrepancies between myth and reality about women and girls in sports. Another one would be encourage other women and girls. Our visibility to women just starting out in athletics can make a critical difference in their future. Inviting women and girls to informational meetings about athletics and the wonderful things that they have to offer, encourage them to see themselves as players, coaches, whatever role they would like to play, offer advice on how they can get their athletic career started and where to go for more information. We can also push for gender equity policies. Gender equity in athletics applies to three basic areas: participation, opportunities, and athletic financial aid, and all other athletic benefits and opportunities. We have to encourage local, state, and national policymakers to take steps towards ending gender bias by promoting and reinforcing gender equity policies and practices in the Department of Education, federal education programs, and in educational funding and research. Writing to the Office of Civil Rights, our members of Congress, our governor, and members of our state legislature to let them know we want gender equity enforced. We can also develop a media strategy. Develop the media as a vital to creating change. We should never hesitate to contact the media and make them aware of actions, workshops, or other activities. Encourage reporters to cover women's athletics in our area. Local radio and TV talk shows should also be encouraged to devote programs to women's athletics. Support women's sports reporters and media coverage of women's sports. Similarly, we can tell the media to task when they do not cover women's sports or do not have female reporters. I feel like this is a very big thing today, as social media is such a big platform that we have as individuals, that we can voice these issues and make changes within our society. And that is the end of my presentation. Thank you.